Alright, Shalom. Call all y'all about Shalom Shah. Shalom to the no, there's been a lot of different stuff that's been going on in the news, as usual. That's why you gotta be vigilant, stay alert, pay attention to what's really going on. Not get caught up in too much of the other nonsense that can distract you in life. But these prophecies, they come in full fledged. So I want to play a few of these little videos I was looking at that I had queued up. I'm gonna go to this, I'm gonna get a few precepts. The scripture says, blessed is he that watches and keepeth his garments. And so you want to be watching that.
This is Kyle. He invented One Wheel to destroy boredom.
After his surprise visit to Kiev last weekend, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin told more than 40 defense ministers and officials of countries worldwide that they needed to do more for Ukraine to win the war.
We don't have any time to waste. The briefings today laid out clearly why the coming weeks will be so crucial for Ukraine. So we've got to move at the speed of war.
And see, that's the most High putting the spirit on these damn devils. Look at Exodus chapter 15, verse 3. It says, Yahweh is a man of war. Lord Yahweh is his name. The Most High is a man of war. People talking about how God is love and, you just got to love everybody and all that shit, but they don't understand there's a balance with that, too. Let me go to that real quick. It's the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 3. No, it's book of Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 1 says, to everything there's a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. I'm in that war season right now. As much as Esau try to get on TV and try to paint this little narrative like, oh no, we ain't gonna go to war. We want peace. We want to help build the economy up. It's not up to them. It says, to everything there's a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up. It was this planet. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down, a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn, a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to cast away. A time to rend and a time to sow. A time to keep silence and a time to speak. And these prophets are speaking right now too. And it says a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. And see, the war gonna take place first, so it can be peace on the earth. So the righteous rulers of the earth can be established. The elect, the saints of Israel. Let's see. Let me go to another precept real quick. It's popping my mind. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 6. Let's go. Now, once this event takes place right here, we're just coming. I'm gonna go to another video too because they keep talking about that stuff. They talk about these nukes, those arrows. Once they get launched and sent up, and they're not returning nowhere, you can't turn them back around. They're gonna be like the X-Men movie when the one guy, Apocalypse, when they was going up and then they turned them a certain area and all that. It's not going like that. Now, verse 12 it says, and I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. And the stars of heaven fell into the earth, even as a fig tree casteth untimely figs, and she was shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven parted as a scroll when it's rolled together. The reason why it's going to look like that, because once the nukes drop and that cloud go up, it look like a scroll being rolled together. It says, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. That's why it's gonna be a new heaven, new earth, because everything gonna be moved. Everything not gonna be in the same place. There might be some islands over in the Pacific Ocean that we don't even really know about like that. It's gonna be visible in that day, and Hawaii may be submerged. Australia may be submerged, and something else end up rising up. You can't really pinpoint exactly which place is gonna be moved and which place is gonna be hid and which place is gonna be revealed exactly. But that's what's gonna happen when the earth be shaking like that, put all this water on it. God says, the kings of the earth and the great men, the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty man, and every bondman, every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. He said to the mountains and the rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. That Lamb was talking about Yahweh Shai. For the people that try to say he don't exist, or the Most High don't have no son, and none of that other stuff. I said, for the great day of his wrath has come, and we should be able to stand. And the only ones that really going to be able to stand is the elect, those who were deemed before time and deemed worthy to actually survive this right here.
And I know that all the leaders leave today more resolved than ever to support Ukraine in its fight against Russian aggression and atrocities.
He used Ramstein Air Base in Germany, the largest US air base outside of the US, to bring NATO ministers but also those from the Middle East, Africa and Asia together. The location was significant because especially Germany had been reluctant to send heavy weapons to Ukraine. Not anymore.
We decided on Monday to support Ukraine with Gepard anti-aircraft systems, which is exactly what Ukraine needs right now to secure its...
See, Esau's such a damn devil. Let me go to the other precept. Let me go to this. This popped in my mind. I was talking to my auntie about this recently. It's in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. Let me see. Verse 3 says, for the vision is yet for appointed time, which ain't we in that time. It says, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. It will tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Even though people be like, this ain't gonna never happen in our lifetime. People been saying this gonna happen and all that. It's happening. Now it says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just should live by his faith. And that's how we need to maneuver. Nothing wrong, having a little defense. Like the scripture say, money is a defense, so you want to use your resources wisely. And also say, use the world but not abuse the world. So you want to maneuver in a wise manner, but don't get caught up relying too much on that stuff. Because the most I don't want to make stuff shake, basically. Because you can have all that stuff and lose it just like that. You got doomsday purpose and all that. They might not be able to use all that shit. That shit might be gathered up for one of the men of the Lord, so they can actually walk right into that, and they just have all that and be able to live off of it. Now it is in verse 5, yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, his desire is hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and he will to him all people. And that's why you see these damn devils. Let me get to this video again. Doing what they're doing right now, you got people over here starving, people still jobless, even though some jobs open back up. But a lot of people don't want to go back to work. Because jobs overwork people, underpay people, then the cost of living is continuing to go up. Paying for transportation going up, paying for gas going up, even though it's dropped a little bit recently. But they just gonna hike it back up. Food shortages starting to happen, which I'm gonna talk about that in another video. All this stuff going on, so everything in disarray. Meanwhile, you got Esau red ass fueling this war even more. But like the scripture said, let me go to that real quick. Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10, verse 8. It says, he that diggeth a pit shall fall into it. So all this shit they digging and doing all over there, this shit gonna come right back and get them. It says, whoso breaketh a hedge, a serpent shall bite him. So man, Esau setting all this shit up and not realizing it's gonna fall right back on their own head.
Airspace from the ground. This has become clear again today.
The Gepard or Cheetah anti-aircraft systems are not the combat tanks Ukraine had asked for weeks ago, but it is seen as a breakthrough after the German government was worried about being drawn into a war with Russia, and Chancellor Olaf Scholz warned a few days ago for the possibility of a nuclear war.
See? Let's go to this video.
$1.8 billion in just 5 months. That is what Chantel Brown helped deliver for Ohio. She worked with Joe Biden to improve our